Yeah, good morning, all of you. So, how is Kubernetes? The practice and all? Difficult, huh? Difficult. Where? In Kubernetes, where you are feeling facing the difficulties? Everything. Anni configure chesara. Okay, then in that case, can we discuss from the scratch? Seriously. I'm okay for that to recap all Kubernetes concepts. If you are facing any issues. From where I can start? Installation. Okay, exactly. I want to understand from you where you are facing challenges mainly in Kubernetes. Understanding YAML files. Okay. Okay. Next. Next. So you need to say that, guys, so that I can understand. So Kubernetes is very, very important subject. I'm ready to, extend the classes. I don't have any problem. So where exactly you are facing the issue so that I will start from now. You know the Chiranjeevi dialogue? In front of there is a crocodile festival, right? Just you have seen Kubernetes only 10%. The 90% is there. Okay. That is really horrible. So that's what I'm not going to continue to the new things. If you okay, where I can start. So installation is clear. Cluster creation is clear. Still anyone facing issue to create a cluster? Online team, what happened to you? So I'm ready to recap, revise the things. So not required. In that case, online team is not required to revise the things. They are in good shape. See, they are in always good shape. Then in that case, start the first class recap. Okay. Only Kiran is asking, so no problem. Even one person will ask also, I will repeat. So, okay, we'll do one thing here. What issues you are facing? That's what I need to understand first from you. Please revise from starting. Okay, no problem. Okay, so how many worker node components we have? 3. Mainly 3. What and all? The first one is what? Pod.aml file. Okay, let me explain here pod.aml file. What is pod, guys? Image run by Kubernetes. Once Kubernetes run a image, so is there any doubts on flow, enter flow? No doubts on the flow, right? From where image will come? No doubts, right? Till ECR is clear. You guys are clear, right? So your image is ECR or Docker Hub. So your image is ready in the ECR or Docker Hub. That image we can run by using Kubernetes. In that case, pod will create. Is this clear? Okay. So My image are easier or Docker. My images are easier or Docker. So whatever image it is. So this is Docker. This is easier. So in the easier also images are there. Docker also images are there. This is Docker private registry, your Docker own account, not public. So whenever you run by using Kubernetes, So Kubernetes also called K8s. So shortcut K8s. Okay. So whenever you run image, what it will be create? Pods will be created, either deployment or whatever it is. Pod will be created. How to run? kubectl apply. In that case, you need to write a one YAML file. Till here clear? Okay. In this pod.yaml file, we need to write a YAML file to create a pod. The YAML file, whatever steps you are going to give, that YAML if you run, pod will create. How to run? kubectl apply -f, your YAML file name, right? Name of the file. Okay. kubectl first command, kubectl apply -f, name of the YAML file. Name of the YAML file means first you need to create a YAML file, right? First you need to create a YAML file. In that YAML file, you need to define your image path. Is this clear? Okay. That YAML file's first step is what, guys? API version. API version. And next is what? Huh? After, yes, kind. Next, metadata. Next, no, I'm just talking about the key names, not values. Spec, right? That's it only, right? Only 4. API version, it is a V1. Kind, pod, metadata, again, I'm going to write a name. What is the name? You just give name of your pod only here. Pod name. Under spec, specification. You are going to create a pod on which specification? My image is my specification. From the image, container will create, right? And you need to define some name of the container, right? Again, name. And next, image. That's it. This YAML is to create a pod. Source is image. If it is a public image, give directly public image. If it is a ECR, give ECR image URI. I will show you now. Is this clear? Any confusion here? Online team, any confusion here? On the pod, any confusion here? Okay, let me take one pod YAML, official YAML. You can. So worker node components. So pod.yaml. Okay. Okay. In this pod.yaml, do you have any doubts? What I have written there? This is my pod.aml. Same API version is a v1, kind is a pod, metadata name, labels. Okay, maybe you guys are confusing here, right? Just leave it, not require this one. Okay, next is what? Spec container name or your image path. This label go to service node port. Copy it. So this label will help to give the access of your pod to external access. External access we can give in two ways. The way one is node port, the way two is load balancer. There is no other options. There is a DNS name, just leave it. We are not using it at the time. Is this clear now? In this case, again, if I'm talking about service, again, service YAML file will come. Service YAML file, API version is common. Kind in place of pod, service is coming. Pod metadata, this is service metadata. And labels, this is the labels of the service. This is optional again. Okay, but now this is not optional, right? You are creating service for the pod to give access. Your service should communicate to your pod. How it will communicate? Based on the labels. So definitely, if you want to create a pod, if you want to give an access, definitely you need to create a labels under metadata section. This labels is under metadata sections. Labels are to give the communication for any other service. Now this pod want to give public access, right? In that case, definitely in container, I can create a port forward -p, give your required port number, actual application port number. If you give that command, the port is mapped to whatever port you have given. That port is able to access the Docker host IP and whatever port number you have given. The agenda, instead of giving default port number to outside of the access, we are giving different port numbers. The reason is only one reason, guys. For example, if there is no local port option, you cannot deploy multiple containers, same application. The reason, the 80 already running, right? If you create one more container, 80 already running. So instead of avoiding that, that 80 is mapped to other port numbers. Again, 80 is mapped to other port number. Again, 80 mapped to other port number means you can create number of containers with the same type of 80 applications. If there is no port forward option, definitely you cannot create on the same Docker host, same application, one more container you are unable to create. Then no use, right? The Docker host, you can create multiple containers means the port forward options are there. You can map any port number. So again, one more Nginx, create one more port number. Again, one more Nginx, create one more port number. If there is no creation of port numbers are there, definitely you can work only one Nginx, not for second Nginx. Why? 80 already there. In the same EC2 instance concept, we already seen the same challenge, right? My Jenkins is running in my EC2 instance. If I install Tomcat port options, conflicts we are facing, right? At that time, I have changed my Jenkins port number. Same here also, my application diverting different port numbers to avoid the conflicts. Understand? Okay. And now here, focus only one thing. These labels are not a mandatory to create a pod. Understand this step is very important. Okay. These labels are not a mandatory to create a pod. These labels are mandatory to give a access this pod. Clear? So how to access? See, there is an option here, selector. This selector only will link here, not this one. Clear? This selector will decide to whom I can connect communication, to whom I can raise the communication. So for example, this guy is going to access from the external. The request will go here, it will go here. The same thing in the PPT. If you can go the PPT, if you can go into the PPT, not this one. Yeah. See here, the request is coming through node port service, then pod, right? This service redirect your request to required port number, required pod. How service can decide I can send traffic only this pod based on the labels. Understand? In that case, whatever labels are, their same labels, whatever key names, key value pairs, whatever they're in the same labels, the service can traffic everything, all pods. Understand? So in this case, you just understand here, as per this architecture, so my service request, my outside request is coming from external to first service. Then service is redirecting your request to pod. Understand how this service is redirecting the request to pod, guys? Labels. Understand? Yeah. Is there any confusion here so far? See, if it is easier image, you just change here. Go to your easier. Go to easier. If it is easier. See here. For example, Hotstar. If I want to give this, click on latest URI, copy this URI and give into your pod image name in place of image name. Okay. At this time, it will call only for your easier image only, not for public images. The reason is you are giving here public image here. That's why it's taking Nginx image. In the place, you can give your image. This one. The source is now easier. Understand? Okay. And these labels are your service label. Like how these labels are pod labels, right? These labels are service labels. If other deployment.yaml, for example, guys, you tell me this is sample deployment.yaml. Sample.yaml file. This YAML file want to talk to this service. How to give? So here you should write selector. Here you can write, or here you can write top also. I mean, spec before also you can write. The reason this is a parallel entity, not instead of entity. So you can write anywhere. So for example, what I need to write selector and app, my app. So you need to understand this selector is communicate to this service metadata labels, not this one. This is indicate to next whatever it is going to communicate. Understand this difference between these two labels? You need to understand. This is an optional one. This is an optional one. When other service is going to communicate at the time under metadata section, you need to define your labels. The same label target and you can give. Clear? Any confusions here? In the pod, only pod. I have explained only pod, not service also even. I will explain service port numbers and all also. Yes, clear. I think Kiran, still any confusions? Clear, right? So creation of pod, no challenges. Creation of service we'll discuss later. Just here I'm not explaining creation of service. I explain only labels. Okay. And then next is what, guys? Deployment. The reason you need to understand, if I deploy a pod, how many pods will create? But that is not a case, right? One pod is not give high availability. One EC2 server will not give high availability. In that case, we are configuring auto scaling to give a same service. But in this case, I need a multiple pods. Unfortunately, in my pod.aml section, there is no replica option. Clear? In that case, pod creation of pod is not recommended through pod.aml file. The reason inside there is no replicas concept. I can create only single pod. If you delete that pod, one more pod will come or not? Not come. The reason self-healing is not there for pod level. See this PPT. Self-healing there in the replica set only, not pod level. Self-healing is nothing but scalability. You can increase, you can decrease, create a replicas. It's not there in pod level. Is this clear so far? In that case, what I need to create? Either replica set or deployment. Let's go for replica set first. Okay, replica set. Copy. Yeah. Let me take one more new paint. Guys, understanding of AML is very important, not for write an AML file. No one can ask, right, show me the right AML file like that. Understanding is very important. That's it only. Okay. Yeah. If you can see this AML file, as we know, first version is common. See, pod version is V1, right? Replica set version is apps V1. Understand, it will change. Only two type of the deployment that AMLs, worker node components, two type of versions, apps V1, V1 only. Okay, V1 is for pod, apps V1 is for replica set. Kind is what? Metadata is what? Name of the replica set. Till here clear, right? Next, here you need to understand. Let me take a pod also to better differentiate we can hear. Okay. So, okay. If you can see, compare with your pod.ml, your replica set.ml. So what is the new thing is added here? Here replicas are not there, right? Here replicas are there, right? That's what we opt replicas set.ml, right? The reason is here. This one. This one is not there in your pod. That's what pod can create only single copy. It will not give again self-healing. If you delete only. But here the meaning of the three is three pods should exist at all times. Whatever reason you accidentally delete, one more pod will create till three. This is what kind of high availability? Static. It's not a dynamic, right? Always three maintain. It's not maintain vary with the load. Clear? So the same process is not available pod. That's what we are not going with the pod. There is no replica concept. In that case, my application is not safe in the pod.ml. My application is safe in replicas.ml. The reason replicas are there in that. Okay. Okay. So The additional one is not there in this line replicas, the specifications. Next, what is that? Next one is what? Wait, may you confuse? This is one line only. Okay, this is not separate line, guys. This is under selector only. Just I'm writing what is selector. Pods label should be defined in the replica set label selector. Is this clear? Okay. Now you need to clearly understand one thing. In this pod, I'm going to enable replica. Pod is common in deployment and replica. I just added replica layer on top of the pod. That layer is called replica set. Is this clear? So in your pod, my replica set layer can control your activities. Now you are a one pod, right? You just follow my instructions. Create 3, create 2, create 1. How replica set link with your pod here? Again, labels. Here, selector. Pods label should be defined in replica set label selector. Okay. If you can see, what is the replica set label selector here? Web app. Clear? See? Web app. What is my replica set label? Web app. This is what? Which label this is? Pod label. This is replica set label. The condition to apply this replica set to your pod, it should be match at least one label. So here may be confusion. See here only. This is single line, guys. Label selector is a single line. See, these labels are for which? These labels are for replica set labels or pod labels. This is an replica set metadata section. Replica set metadata section means this is replica set labels. So till here, replica set, right? What is this? It will start pod. This is pod body. This is replica set head. Understand? Replica set head, to map pod body, we should map the labels. Which head I can fix for which body based on the labels. This is replica set head label. This is body, sorry, this is body of pod label. We can map based on the labels. Is this clear? In this PPT, if you can see here, my replica set controlling pods. How the replica set control the pods based on the labels. Definitely a replica set label should match with your pod labels. Understand? Replica set is not a different service. Replica set is, we are taking the help of replica set to provide replicas to pod only. Pod is fixed here. Understand? Let's discuss. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, this is my pod.yaml. Okay. Now you tell me, guys, this is my pod.yaml. Whatever there's here, same thing only. This my pod.yaml, see, unfortunately, it is not providing replicas. Okay. So I want to take replica set help. I want to take replica set help. How I can take? Create a replica set, create a replica set metadata, and give the same label matching. You can create a replica set in the metadata section. You can give app colon web app or type colon front end. These are two labels. You can give any one label. That's what I'm saying here. 3 pods should exit at all time, and one pod's label should be defined in replica set able selector. One pod. I mean, whatever here, the labels you are defining, these labels are for pod labels. These labels are for replica set labels. The reason it is under replica set metadata section. So replica set can communicate your pod. It will create 3 times. Understand? Inside replica set, pod also there, right? That pod replica set communicate that pod run 3 copies. Understand now? That's what this architecture. So in that under replica set create a multiple pods means definitely inside the replica set pod.ml should be there, right? The pod.ml will link with replica set ML by mapping the labels of 2 metadata sections. Pod metadata section labels are there. Replica set metadata section labels are there. Both can communicate. Is this clear? Any confusions here? Is pod.aml really required? Anyhow, we are giving the spec in replica, right? Okay. You guys are thinking like a scientist here. See, understand. In this replica set, where is the pod block, guys? This is pod block, right? This is pod block. Where is the replica set block? That's what this is head. This is body. Okay. This is head. This is body. This is hands. Guys, this head, if you try to map the body, you need to specify first which body I need to map this head, right? This mapping is based on the labels. So this is head now. So this is body now. Without pod.ml, replica set will not create any pod. How you can define replica set? This is my image. This is my container. You need to say to your replica set, this is my pod requirements. You can create 3 copies. I'm unable to create myself 3 copies. That's what I'm taking your help. So in the replica set, we can say map the labels. His question is means we are in the same YAML file, right? By default, it will create. It is not like that. We are in the same file. Also, we need to define the pods labels. Okay. Clear? Any questions? Still questions means I need to show practical here. Cut some head. And I created Nginx without replica with version 10. After the added replica set section, added 3 replicas here. I added an Nginx version. Yes, it can handle. The reason, see, simple. The 10.2 version is there in where? In your image section only. Once you apply, it will take the updated version only. It will apply. It will not delete. It will not delete and recreate. It will update the version. Clear? But yes, if you can see here, I created Nginx without replica. So first you created pod will create, right? That pod, if you add replica set, definitely it will be delete and recreate different versions. Apps v1, different versions. We cannot give access existing pod to replica set control. Try your end. That's what it will be deleted, different versions. Is this clear, guys? That's what in real time you are not recommended at all any pod.mls. It will be there only deployment.ml. So what is the challenge? So replica set is fine. Then why again deployment? Say replica set, deployment, both are same. In place of kind, you just write deployment only. The deployment provider feature, we can upgrade, we can roll up, okay, roll down. I mean, you can increase the version, you can decrease the version, we can play with that. But here, not possible in the replica set. That's what in our PPT. On top of the replica set, it's coming a deployment. Understand? Deployment follow the replica set only. Understand? Deployment to create replicas, definitely replica set is required. Deployment take replica set help and creating the pods, different pods. But deployment additional feature is what? Rollbacks. See, rolling updates and rollbacks. If you create deployment, replica set also will create, guys. You just create after created deployment, you can check cubes, it will get replica set, it will create. If you create replica set, pod will create or not? But you are creating replica set YAML only, right? Why pod is creating? Replica set creating a pods. Understand? Kubectl will get replica set. You can see one replica set. Kubectl will get pods. How many replicas are there? Understand? Same thing. Create a deployment. In that case, you can see the deployment, you can see the replica set, you can see the pods. This is the hierarchy. Clear? Why deployment layer? Replica set layer will not support rolling updates. That's the reason only. Replica set is layer on top of the pod. Deployment is layer of the top of the replica set. That's it. Still any confusions? YAML files are clear? Okay. Now let's go to service. Service.yaml. Okay. In the service.yaml, guys, excuse me, node port. So this is your container image, right? Okay. In the service, you need to define here port of your container. Okay. Port of your container. And here, if you can see, this port is what? Service port. Normal port means service port. This port is what? Target port. What is the target port? Container port. That is created by using pod, right? This service is linked with this 8080. This is target. My target is what? Pod container port is my target. That's what pod container port is your target. Understand? Okay, let me better. Yes, if you have any confusions, other tools configurations like Kubernetes, let me know. I will extend the classes. Don't give any surprises in the last, sir, not understanding Docker. I'm ready to explain one more time. I don't have any problem. What happened to this? Okay, guys. So this is what? My pod. This is my pod. If you can see this pod, okay, this is my pod. Now what I need to create for this to give access? Service. The first important step is what? Labels. We need to map the labels. Okay. What happened? Okay. So if you can see here, this is my service. So your pods are running here. Inside, application will be there. So now users want to access. They will not come directly to access pod IP here. Okay. We are not giving any pod IP to public here. Then what I can do? We can use service help. There is a stateless concept, little difficult concept. First, you need to understand this one. Stateless is a database concept. I think RDS, you guys are clear, right? Read replicas master. That is prerequisite here to understand stateless. Okay. And if you can see here, guys, okay. So first Kubernetes concept is, okay, you just interact with service only. Even our normal EC2 instance also, if you want to give access to outside, different EC, I mean, multiple EC2 instances are there. We can use the which help? Load balancer. Load balancer is a service. Here also we are creating a service, load balancer service here. To create a load balancer, we need to configure multiple steps, right? But that configuration of multiple steps we are giving in the form of YAML file only. Same process, there is no difference. There you are controlling multiple instance. Here we are controlling multiple pods. This is pods understandable language. That is nodes understandable language. That is manually you need to deploy. Here YAML files will be taken. That's what Kubernetes is, an orchestration tool. You can give your inputs in the form of YAML. I can understand, I can give the orchestrate your pods in efficient way. In there, auto scaling is taking care, whatever you based on your configurations. Clear? So in this case, if you can see, to give the access to public, so we need to use the service.yaml. Service.yaml will create what, guys? Service. Created a service. Sorry. Created a service. Now, what happened? Is there this one? Oh, also coming. This one. Oh, also coming. Huh? Auto select, where it is. Okay. Again coming. No. Service. Okay. Service. So whenever you can apply this service.yaml, service will create. Service will create. Whenever apply deployment pods will create. So now you can access these pods through service. Is this clear? This service can communicate the pods based on the pod labels. Next, these pods running on which port? AT port. 80, 80, 80. Now tell me, guys, what is the target port of these pods for service point of view? Service point of view, service target is what? Service target is to communicate your pods. To communicate pods, labels will help. To communicate application, same port. Understand? See, here your port is running, your application is running on 80 port. For example, service should allow to same port. That's what I discussed, right? Service port, target port, both should be same. Hey service, your port is 80. Your target port is, what is? 80. Target means what here? Your application running on your container. So, okay, if you can see here, yeah. My first port is 80. How you can communicate 80 port from the external? Very good. Node port. Instead of giving your actual IP to port to public, we are creating node port. Even if you create a load balancer, the background node port will create it. You can go and check. Load balancer, if you can create a node port also will create background to communicate by, but you are giving to access to load balancer only. Understand? So if you can see here, these people can access node port where this node is running. Which node you are going to go the request for? That's what we need to give the node IP and port. On which node your pods are running to give it, you can give the node IP and port number. So node IP colon node port. Okay. See, node IP colon node port. Indirectly, what you are saying, if you come with your node IP and node port, your request will first hit to my service port 80. How you can say, sir? See here, we need to define, right? Indirectly, you are saying that my port is ET. It is configured to node port. The reason you have selected node port option. So the first request will go to this service port 80. It is redirecting into your container application where the application is running inside the container port, right? In that case, comes under target port 80. For example, if you can give target port 81, it will not communicate, right? My target is not 81, my target is 80. Service has to say your target is 80. Go to request to your container directly. This service port is to communicate through node port. This target port is to go your request to reach to target. Understand? In that case, you are saying that your application run on the 80 port here. So now service target is what? 80 port. So that's what we have mentioned here. So target port is 80. Target port is 80 means it will come and connect here. And what about this port? This is service port. This is give access to node IP3 node port. Clear clarity here. And you can add after protocol node port also. That node port, if you define any number, it will work same number. Or it will be generated 30,000 to 32,676. Any number you will get by default. No, if you define specific number, you will get specific number also. For example, if you can see here, okay. Yeah, if you can see here, whatever we discuss right now, how service will communicate to your deployment YAML, right? So based on these labels, this is done, right? And next is what? My application is Node.js application. So definitely my port number is 3000 here. In my pod.yaml, I have mentioned my container port is 3000. So if it is a 3000 means definitely your service target port is what? It should be redirected to 3000 only, not for other port, right? See here, my target port is 3000. Your node port will link through first service port. Service only your request take and send redirect into your application, right? So in that case also, my port is 3000. And what about node port? If you give or not, no problem. If you give 30,000, definitely your node IP should accessible through 30,000 node port. Always it will give 30,000 node port only. not for different one. If you're not mentioning anything, what is the node port range? 30,000 to 32,066.7, right? Yeah, 30,000 to 32,076. Any port will come in between. If you're not define, if you define, it will come same port only. Clear till here? Now tell me guys, any questions on deployment, replica set, pod, service? Online team. No doubts. You guys clear offline? Node port? 3 pods. Yeah, see, for example, load balancer is there, right? Load balancer, it can send traffic any pod, any EC2 instance, right? Finally, yeah, round robin. Node port also round robin. Node port, it will send traffic to in default, not round robin. Any port, any node. Yes, that is Kubernetes will monitor. Load balancer is round robin. But here we need to understand there is a schedules concept. Schedules concept we need to define which pod will run on which node. That node port only will link for that pod only. There is a concept in schedules. We'll get a clarity in that. Now we are working with only default schedulers. We are not saying anything into that, right? By default, scheduler will land your pod into all nodes. Okay. But in scheduler concepts, we need to define my pod should run on one node, not second node. In that case, if you can give node port, you should give the specific node IP only, not for any node IP. Understand? This is default action. But in your scheduler, if you have a 4 nodes, if you have a 4 nodes, for example, if you have a 4 nodes, my pod should run on only specific node. Okay. In that case, we need to write a schedulers. That scheduler will land your pod into specific node only. In that case, node port will work the specific node IP and node port only. The pod is running on the node only, right? Like that. For example, the pod is running in any node. It's a default action. Any node means if you configure node port or load balance, it will give redirect your request into where pod is running by automatically. You are not saying you are following the default action. If you are not following default action, you are saying indirectly, don't redirect traffic to all nodes, should traffic to only specific node. In that case, schedulers will help. We can understand, we can discuss that. So all CCs, right? Okay. So in any interview and any project, the first understanding is deployment and service. If you know this concept, you are good in 40% of the Kubernetes. The remaining things from you, no one can expect, first of all. You are not a 5 years, 6 years, 8 years experience guy, right? From your end, no one can show how to configure something. It is not like that. It's not an easy task for Kubernetes. So many things are there. Lakhs of YAML files are there, lakhs of YAML files are there. Some projects, my project, I mean, not YAML files, lakhs of syntaxes are there in the attributes. We cannot control all these things, right? We are configuring some configurations, heartbeat configurations are there Kubernetes. See, in this case, you can easily track the YAML files, right? But if it is thousands of lines are there, very difficult. In this case, again, we have different configurations, heartbeat configurations. The heartbeat configurations will check if any YAML file will be, any pod will be down, immediately will get a trigger. Yeah, like that, some configurations are there. No need to go in depth. Okay, just first, at least you should learn how Kubernetes will run. In interviews, if you apply a resume, maybe you can apply 3 years, 4 years gap only, right? Not 6 years, 7 years, don't apply that jobs, first of all. Definitely you are in the scope if you apply 6, 7 years job. Okay, just apply the jobs till 3 years first, better. Then 4 years. The last is 4 years. For the freshers, if you go for freshers, no one can ask, in-depth questions, first of all. That is very, very not recommended. Even if you can go for freshers kind of jobs, they will ask, do you know Kubernetes only? In that case, you definitely say that, right? I know Kubernetes, I have done these projects. Definitely they will take you. There is no any option. If you apply 3 years, that case also it will work out. If you say projects, don't call project name. Okay, there is a project 3-tier architecture. There is a project. See, don't call Hotstar project. This is not recommended way. You just say, I work with one project. It's a Node.js kind of application project. It's a Python application kind of project. It's a Java based application kind of project. This is the good. Don't mention project names in your resumes. If you mention Hotstar project, you work with Hotstar. Can you explain architecture first? This is the first question. I don't know. This is the second answer from you. First answer from you. Don't mention any project names. I work project 1. I work project 2. I work project 3. That's it. If you want to mention Node.js kind of project, Python application kind of project. In that case, the first question they will ask you in interview, first question, tell me about yourself. Don't say all stories. Just you are from your experience, what project you work last. That's it. Okay, I'm from that area. My father is very hard worker. My mother is very help to my father. My first sister, my second sister. Don't say that. Leave it. See, you are the experience or pressure, whatever it is. Just only 3 things. Yes, where are you from? Is a common thing. If possible, just your family side also you can mention, no problem. And the important your education background, why you have started this career, and now what kind of projects you are handling, you completed already. That's it. From that, next question, default question, what is your roles and responsibilities in this project? In that case, you need to very proactively you need to say the answer. So don't say first process will start from Git. The process will end from deployment Kubernetes. Don't say like that. They can easily understand. You are practicing some project and you are saying that. So as a AWS DevOps engineer, I'm need to take care here all infra deployments, application deployments, and pipeline configurations. So far, I work with multiple pipeline configurations by using Jenkins, by using GitLab, by using Argo CD. Okay. So my configurations, so my source is whatever source you can say that. And coming to the infrastructure development, so far I deployed so many infrastructure by using Terraform. I'm very good in Terraform. So, and few projects I work as an infrastructure engineer by deploy by using Terraform. And few projects I configure my pipelines, so Jenkins and whatever Argo CD and all. And I have a good knowledge on our database also. I'm very good in RDS also. And monitoring tools. You have to say like that. Okay, don't say my project will start from Git, next to Sonar, next to JFrog, next to this. They can easily understand. They can ask the next question. Okay, do you have a good knowledge on Docker as you mentioned in the Docker file, writing in the Docker file in your resumes? Can you write a one Docker file? Simple question. You just open they will share your screen. They ask you to share your screen, write a Docker file. Don't panic. Just open the editor, anything. Write all instructions. That's it only. From, add. You just write all instructions. Don't write any file directly. These are the instructions. First instruction is a from. If you need to call any existing image, we need to mention this image here. If you update any Nginx, Python, they will ask again one more question. No, you just explain the instructions only. Add, if I want to add any URLs, any copy to copy the source code from this area to this area. And CMD to run the execute. This is execute command once run the container. You need to explain, that's it only. No one can expect develop a one project in this interview. No one can ask. And write a Jenkins file, simple Jenkins file. The pipeline will start from pipeline if it is a declarative. If it is a node, we can start Groovy script, right? The pipeline will start from the node. Just give the some syntax node, open stage, close stage. Here we can run required whatever actions as such. If you want to deploy anything, If I want to write a Python file, sh python.py. If I want to deploy any Docker build. If I want to deploy Kubernetes, kubectl apply -y. No need to learn for Jenkins script for all the things. Just understand the skeleton. Inside what you need to put in that, you can put. Understand? So you need to be proactive in interviews. Don't give some hints. I'm not an experienced guy. You need to see, first of all, be confident. Okay, mold yourself. I'm experienced guy. Even me also same task I'm doing here, what I'm explaining here only. There is no difference even me, just hands on difference only. Okay, but knowledge both are same. If you do practice 4 months, both are same. Some difference will be there only. In that case, don't show yourself as a fresher. First, you believe yourself. I know something. Whatever projects I'm going to discuss, neatly just write one book. If someone asks roles and responsibilities, what I need to say. That is very important. The first two questions is very, very difficult to say answer. The reason you need to explain your project. The third question they can ask, okay, what is Jenkins? That you can, if you have a knowledge, you can say that answer. But second question, roles and responsibilities, you need to create your roles. You need to create your responsibilities, even there are not. Understand? So I'm going to share one template to you. What you need to say in the roles and responsibilities, you just follow that process better. Once again, I'm saying that maybe after complete the training, I don't know if you remember or not this point. Don't mention any project names. That is not at all recommended. Clear? Okay, so only 20 minutes left. So this time is clear. What is pod, service, and all? Okay. So guys, what about tomorrow? Class. Do I need to take? Hmm? Okay. If I give a holiday, okay, you need to do one thing. You need to configure Jenkins pipeline to deploy your project. So you already done till ECR, right? You need to write a pipeline, extended pipeline. Add the one more stage. What is the stage? What is the stage? Kubectl apply -f your deployment at AML only. In that case, your deployment.aml should be there in where? In your same project Git. Whenever you clone, right? The first step it will clone. Second, sonar. Third, Docker. Fourth, push images here. Fifth, pull. I mean, your YAML file will pull. No need to run any command, right? Apply -f your YAML file means it will pull image from ECR and it will deploy. Is this clear? Okay, let me show one YAML file with the private registry. Yeah, I will show you installation also. Okay. But installation, we need to go for Terraform. Just we are doing here CLI only, but that is not recommended anyway. Okay, I'm in the North Virginia. Let me delete this one. Successfully generated 80,000 bill for me. Any records in your end? My record is 80K. I need to ask some concession. Then there is no option. AWS is changed everything now. We are unable to create new accounts. Seriously, with this laptop, I'm unable to create new accounts. Other laptop, maybe the chances are there. I mean, if I change the details for everything also, they are tracking my laptop APIs. See, I have already done. My friends already created 2 accounts and shared me. Whenever I'm just log in here, immediately block. I don't know what process they are following. Maybe developers knows that. Incognito also tried their block. So definitely I need to now ask to some discount. I'm in the blacklist. Yes. I like black. That's what. Anyway, so many ways are there, but I don't have time to implement that activities. I can go through my company profile also. They will definitely give the access, but I don't have much time to spend with that. Okay, guys, kubectl get nodes. After launch your Kubernetes, if you are unable to see kubectl get nodes, what you need to do? You need to give an update command. That command already have given, right? So the reason of that command is, see, yeah. The reason of this command is we need to give this command that whatever server you are going to create the nodes, the server can get access to communicate your EKS cluster. By default, it will come. If it will not come, EKS update kubeconfig region your cluster name from the same instance. If you can give inside your EC2 cd.kube, if you can give cd.kube, it will update. Before that, it will not update. Some cases. So if it will update, you are able to get the nodes. Dot cube is a license. So if you can go for vi config, we can see the access and your role, your cluster name, your role ARN. Your EC2 should be add one role, right? To communicate EKS cluster authentication. You need to add administration access or EKS access. The role will update. In that case, you can easily communicate. Okay. This is automatically will update. No need to create by your own way. So just if you that role is that dot cube is created means you are able to get the kubectl get nodes. You will get a authentication. If it will not work, just give the kube config update command. EKS kube config give hyphen name cluster name so that the CD dot cube will update at that time. Till here clear? Okay. So let's create a one YAML file. Vi project.yaml. Okay. In this YAML, let's copy this. My YAML is already there, right? This will be there or not? Okay. Let me take Mumbai. So I'm just taking front end here. Deployment.yaml. Next, VA service.yaml. Okay. So this is load cluster IP, right? If I give load balancer. Okay. So now kubectl apply -f project.yaml service.yaml. Okay. Yeah. Service configured, kubectl. So troubleshooting class is pending. If pod is not running, how to troubleshoot that we need to take care. Okay, but I'm unable to see the pods. Why? Namespace. My namespace is 3 tier. If you can see here, namespace is 3 tier. My deployment namespace is also 3 tier. Clear? So what I need to give now? Hyphen n kubectl get pods hyphen n 3 tier. So this time I'm able to see all the things. Now you can go kubectl get svc. Sorry, this load balancer is mine. Okay, so what I did actually, I just configure my domain name, my load balancer. So in my ingress, I have given, if you can see here, ls. Okay, let's go there directly in GitHub. So in my ingress, I have given, if path is /, go to front end service. My front end service, I have given load balancer type. My load balancer, I configure my domain name. Understand? See, my host is domain name. If I give load balancer URL here, directly load balancer will work. Clear? I mean, just I'm showing you ingress how to do it. You create 2 days before. Also, if you update now, it will update. It will not delete and recreate. Understand? If you can apply now, also it will show only where it will, when it will created. In this case, you can go for private registry. Okay. So the only single file I've updated here, you just copy this one, go to your, how to create namespace, kubectl, create namespace, give just today name. Okay, namespace is created. Now go to vi today.aml. Paste your AML file here. Okay. And then how to apply? Kubectl apply -f. Today. But I need to create in the namespace, right? -n. My namespace is today, right? Now created, right? Now kubectl get pods where -n today. Running, right? 11 seconds. So I need to check svc. Kubectl get svc -n today. This is my node port. I have given node port, not load balancer in this case. In this case, what I need to do? Kubectl first get nodes, right? Nodes -o wide so that I can see the external IPs. These external IPs are for what? Your nodes, worker node IPs. In this worker node IP, if you can give what is the port number? 32387, right? 32387. Clear? working. So in this case, you can go here, how your, see my custom application, how I can given here. This is your repository deployment.yaml. See, this is my image ECR path. URI, ECR URI, instead of that public image path. That's it. The difference, both are same. Just you can change here image. Clear, guys? Online team clear? Any questions? So please, at least whatever happen is happen. Start from now. Kubernetes learning. Okay. Yeah, I will discuss Trivy scanner also. Don't worry. Just one day class is fine. 30 minutes class is fine to understand Trivy. Just only single command. Trivy scan your image name only. After installation Trivy scan your image name. You will get some list of all vulnerabilities. And ECR itself also we can scan. See here. Where is my ECR? Let me go for ECR. I think I have already shown. Go to registry. So if you can see here, for example, whatever image you want, if you want to scan here, there is a scanning vulnerabilities. You just scan here also. ECR scan also we can apply, Trivy scan also we can apply, no problem. This is chargeable. Trivy is open source third party. So free of cost. Clear? No doubts at Kubernetes? So complete your project. So if you have any questions, go to Naresh DevOps Cloud. List of Jenkins files are there in that. Naresh DevOps Cloud, list of Jenkins files. I have updated. Whatever file you need, take from there also. Okay, just apply Control F, Kubernetes, Jenkins with Kubernetes. See, checkout, Docker build, push easier, deploy only, kubectl apply hyphen deploy service.yaml. This deploy service.yaml there in your GitHub. Okay, take care. If it is inside of the directory, you need to give here directory first, then deploy. Like Terraform, we already done, right? So this command is, for example, .kubeconfig is not updated in your local. First, it will be update. This command is initial time. You don't need to give every time. Okay, that's it only. Okay. What values dynamically, Harshal? Dynamically means what? Dynamically means what? I mean, YAML file values. That's what we are using Helm. Helm. In the Helm, we can give the values from the values.yaml. Everything is, we are not hard coded. Everything we can make it as a template, an environmental variable. We can give the values from Helm. We will discuss in the Helm, Harshal. I mean, if you want to change service.yaml, if you want to change port number, if you want to change node port, if you want to change image, no need to go the respective YAML files. The single file will be there in Helm with the help of Helm. The single YAML, if you change anything there, it will apply for all your pod.yaml, everything. That's what Helm we can discuss. Clear? So as I said, tomorrow is a holiday for you. So complete Jenkins with Kubernetes. That is your task. Whatever challenge if you face, just let me know. Okay. Don't put a pending that. Again, I need to explain one more day. And in the 2 days, just think yourself. If you lag any tool, let me know. I will plan to explain one more time. Any tool. Discuss internally. Sir, mine Git, my friend Terraform, this friend Kubernetes means you need to again 4 months need to spend, right? So please be honest at that time. Okay. So don't misuse this opportunity. Any tool, just discuss internally. We can ask this tool to explain one more time so that I will explain. I don't have any problem. That's all for today, guys. So there is no test this weekend. So complete your Kubernetes till now. So in your Kubernetes 9 a.m. 7 days, 7 days, 7 I will explain in Monday. Just leave it. Is it okay? Your wish. If you are asking me to take, I will take tomorrow. Argo CD will complete. Hmm? Can I take? Online team? I'm free tomorrow. Okay, then always ready with the Noah. Test paper discussion if possible. Okay, take holiday. So the Kubernetes 7 or 8 classes are pending, guys. The next week also it will take the entire Kubernetes. So RBAC process, Argo CD, Helm, Grafana, Prometheus, so many things are there. So complete so far. Bye, guys. We'll meet Monday. Route 53 also, yes.